We should go someplace and just be alone.
Welcome to Pride Reviews. Today we're looking at some of the best gay soldier movies, in which some of them are actually based on true story.
Can I get you a drink?
The Letter Men is based on the real love letters written by Gilbert Bradley to his sweetheart, Gordon Bocher, during World War II. Exchanged between 1938 and 1941. The letters were uncovered in 2017 and represent the largest known collection LGBTQ love letters from that time period. Using text from the actual letters, The Letter Men follows the two men as their fight to keep their love alive in the face of war and loss. Indeed, a gay love story, surviving against all shadows of prudence, fears, legislation, or prejudices. A story about the summer of 1940 and the first words, on a ship, under the fly of airplanes, between two guys. One reads, the other flirts. It is in same measure a profound, impressive story about peace in some crumbs in time of war, and in so many senses a film about courage and intensity of true love. This movie is truly a gem.
Your duty lies in obeying orders.
Duty. Well, that word covers a multitude of sins.
Benediction explores the turbulent life of First World War poet Siegfried Sassoon through the eyes of the revered filmmaker Terence Davies. Legendary 20th century English war poet Siegfried Sassoon embarks on a lifelong quest for personal salvation through his experiences with family, war, his writing, and destructive relationships. True salvation can only come from within. A devastating film about lonesomeness that is quite funny in parts and always quite moving. Jack Lowden plays the lead role with phenomenal, clenched feeling in his deepest and best screen work to date. Dog Tags is a 2008 American film written and directed by Damian Dietz and starring Paul Price and Bart Fletcher. Nate Merritt joins the military to earn money before asking Trish to marry him. While on holiday, he meets Andy, a gay man who opens a door to many discoveries. Dog Tags is grim, gritty, and seriously engaging stuff. The location work is top-notch, and the acting far better than you'd expect from a low-budget Italian action movie from the 80s. Scavallini does a strong job keeping things moving nicely and throwing in enough moments of exploitation oddity to ensure that the movie is always interesting. Blu-ray of the original, uncut version looks and sounds very nice, and the extras are interesting and do a nice job of documenting the movie's history. Mor the Boy. This is a 2000 romantic drama film directed by Peter Sheridan, based on the 1958 autobiographical novel of the same name by Brendan Behan. Brendan Behan, a 16-year-old Republican, is going on a bombing mission from Ireland to Liverpool during the Second World War. His mission is thwarted when he is apprehended, charged, and imprisoned in Borstal, a reform institution for young offenders in East Anglia, England. At Borstal, Brendan is forced to live face-to-face with those he perceived as the enemy, a confrontation that reveals a deep inner conflict in the young Brendan and forces a self-examination that is revealing. A really nice story of young Brendan that shows love sometimes is found in unexpected places. Tom of Finland is a 2017 biographical drama film directed by Dome Karakowski and written by Alexi Barty. Tukko Valio-Laaksonen serves heroically in World War II, but is harrowed by the persecution of homosexual men after the war. He begins creating homoerotic art to express himself. The fascinating and unforeseeable trajectory of this true story and its central figure was unbeknown to me and consistently drew interest to the film as a result, despite the alternating and confusing shifts in timeline throughout. Tom of Finland is an important film, especially for the gay community.
We got a mission.
Starring David Garber and Michael Southworth, this action war film, Love and Country, is much more than a war movie or a film about forbidden gay love. It successfully presents complex characters in an intriguing plot, good action, and beautiful original music. Amidst the horrors of the Vietnam War, two men become involved in a relationship and physical attraction not allowed in the U.S. Army. Tender scenes reveal the soldiers' moments of passion without overemphasis on their physical acts of love.
If we got rid of every gay person in the military, there will be no military.
The Inspection is a stylish military drama that delivers a powerful message about redemption. A young, gay black man with few options for his future decides to join the Marines, willing to do whatever it takes to prove himself to his estranged mother and triumph in a system that would otherwise cast him aside. However, even as he battles deep-seated prejudice and the grueling rigor of basic training, he finds unexpected camaraderie, strength, and support in this new community, giving him a hard-won sense of belonging that shapes his identity and forever changes his life. Mafi. This 2019 biographical war romantic drama film co-written and directed by Oliver Hermanus, based on the autobiographical novel of the same name by André Carl van der Merwe. The film depicts mandatory conscription into the notorious South African Defense Force, SADF, during apartheid through the eyes of a young, closeted character Nicholas van der Swart as he attempts to hide his attraction to another gay recruit in a hostile environment. Compelling, downbeat, and powerful drama, giving a more layered picture of the South Africa that existed pre-1994. Tropical Malady is a 2004 Thai romantic psychological drama art film. The film has a bifurcated structure. It is divided into two segments. The first is a romance between two men, and the second a mysterious tale about a soldier lost in the woods, bedeviled by the spirit of a shaman. Ken is a soldier assigned to a post in a small city in rural Thailand. The troop's main duty is to investigate the mysterious slaying of cattle at local farms. While in the field one day, Ken briefly meets a villager named Tong. Later, Ken sees Tong riding in a truck. They talk some more, and a romantic friendship soon develops between them. A mesmerizing film about the mysteries of human desire and the power of darkness where dreams and memories merge. The Bubble is a 2006 romantic drama directed by Aiton Fox telling the story of two men who fall in love, one Israeli and one Palestinian. Ashraf, a Palestinian, meets Noam, an Israeli, at a checkpoint station. The pair begin a relationship, and Ashraf moves in illegally with Noam and Noam's roommates, Lulu and Yeli. The hip Tel Aviv neighborhood in which they live insulates them from the ongoing conflict between Arabs and Jews, but their protection cannot last forever. The movie examines what it is like to have a relationship in a society full of racial tensions and people with closed minds. I feel for Ashraf so much, as his family is not accepting towards his sexuality, and also the tragic events that occur in his family towards the end of the film. Fortunately, the film has lighter moments, as the youngsters party their way through the night in the name of peace. Man in an Orange Shirt is a two-part British television movie from the BBC. The film drama tells three love stories from two generations of a family in the 1940s and in 2017. Two entwined, yet separate stories illustrate the very different challenges to happiness for two gay couples in England, Michael and Thomas in the aftermath of World War II and Adam and Steve in the present day. Although they are set decades apart, the two stories are linked by family and a painting that holds a secret that is carried down from one generation to the next. Scripted by best-selling novelist Patrick Gale, the program features Vanessa Redgrave as a grandmother struggling with her relationship with her gay grandson. Honestly, we rarely have the opportunity to watch something so well done, so well written, so well acted storyline.
Two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. Hey.
Private Romeo. This is an adaptation of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet by Alan Brown, made in 2011. The film is a reenactment of the play exclusively spoken in an all-male high school military academy called McKinley Military Academy. Amidst this recitation is a love blossoming between the two cadets, Sam Singleton Romeo, played by Seth Numrich, and Glenn Mangan Juliet, played by Matt Doyle. This modern take on Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. When 8 male cadets are left behind at an isolated military high school, the greatest romantic drama ever written seeps out of the classroom and permeates their lives. It's a love story with a clear narrative, but much of the film is comprised of pure dance. It's very special.
He's that fat queen, friend of Hitler's. Runs around with a lot of beautiful boys, goes to all the clubs.
Rudy, shut up.
Bent is a 1997 British-Japanese drama film directed by Sean Mathias, based on the 1979 play of the same name by Martin Sherman, who also wrote the screenplay. It revolves around the persecution of homosexuals in Nazi Germany after the murder of SA leader Ernst Röhm on the night of the Long Knives. Max is gay, and as such is sent to Dachau concentration camp under the Nazi regime. He tries to deny he is gay and gets a yellow label, the one for Jews, instead of pink, the one for gays. In camp, he falls in love with fellow prisoner Horst, who wears his pink label with pride. Ben is a powerful and memorable film that is hard to watch at times but deserves to be seen.
He came by, and we kissed.
And everything.
No.
Burning Blue. This 2013 American United States naval aviation drama film, directed by DMW Grier and starring Trent Ford and Rob Mays. The film is based on the 1992 play of the same name by Grier, about a U.S. Navy accident investigation which becomes a gay witch hunt during the Don't Ask, Don't Tell era. Pilots Dan and Will are excelling in their field, but a series of incidents and Dan's relationship with pilot Matt are put under scrutiny. A film seductive first for the way to define sensitive subjects, for the art of tension and anatomy of conflicts, and the last for performances. It is not exactly what you expect, and this can be more than a virtue. A smart story and well-construction of conflicts. And, sure, the precise message. One Summer Night. This is a 2016 romance drama South Korean film, directed by Kim Han. A North Korean soldier escapes to South Korea, leaving his lover behind, and soon meets a new lover in South Korea. However, his lover from the North comes over to the South as well, and everything becomes a nightmare. It's one of the wildest gay movies out there. You guys need to check this one out. David Wagner's Austrian film Eismayer is a strange, untamable beast of a film. It is a film about forbidden love. In this remarkably tight-fisted gay drama, the boundaries are even more uncompromising. And the fact that it is a fictional recreation of a true love story makes it even more daunting. Sergeant Major Eismayer, played with brilliant grit by Gerhard Liebman, has lived in the closet for most of his life. He is tough on the soldiers in his cantonment. He meets his match, in more ways than one, when newly recruited soldier Falik, Luka Dimmick, refuses to be cowed down by Eismayer's taunts and insults. You could say it is love at first sight. The War Boys is a 2009 American independent drama film directed by Ronald Daniels and starring Peter Gallagher, Victor Razik, Brian J. Smith, and Benjamin Walker. This movie is a coming-of-age tale of 3 young men who are the same but very different. Living in a border town does things to you, and the acting in this movie portrays exactly what life in the desert is like from a modern perspective. It's a movie that portrays more reality than most.
Do you have a girl back home?
No. Do you?
Firebird is a 2021 romantic war drama film directed, co-written, and co-produced by Peter Rebane in his feature directorial debut, based on Sergei Fedosov's memoir The Story of Roman. The film stars Tom Pryor, who also co-wrote and co-produced, Oleg Zagorodny and Diana Potsharskia. Set in the Soviet Air Force during the Cold War, it tells the true story of forbidden love between a private and a fighter pilot. Very captivating true-life story of love, bravery, and lost content collapsed. This story shows the strength of love, even in the adversity of a repressive military environment. I personally still haven't recovered from this story yet. The film, For a Lost Soldier, has established itself as a classic. Based on the autobiography of Rudy Van Danzy, who writes of his early experiences in war-torn Europe. He shares his boyhood and how he was separated from his family, sent to the Dutch countryside for safety. He shares the freedom of his liberated country with Canadian soldiers. one of which realizes the boy's special loneliness and befriends him. In the process, the two share a brief forbidden love, establishing the later adult memories which Danzy uses to revitalize his depleted inspiration. Though this film is nevertheless readily accepted by many others as a heartwarming and sympathetic view of youthful homosexuality, the author, director, and actors earned fulsome praise. Yosi and Jagger. This 2002 Israeli romantic drama film directed by Eitan Fox about soldiers at the Israel-Lebanon border who try to find some peace and solace from the daily routine of war. Jagger is the outgoing unit leader of an Israeli Defense Force squad stationed on the Lebanese border. Yosi is his commanding officer. A contemplative soldier, Yosi is starting to buckle under the burden of his secret homosexuality. They both explore their growing feelings for one another under the suspicious eyes of their fellow soldiers. Their colonel brings news of an impending attack, which tests the bond between the two lovers. Deliberate, tender, and the performances are crisp, as is everything else about this vital, economical film, proof that less really can be more.
I am tired of being a freak.
Does that make me a freak if I'm in love with a freak?
Soldier's Girl. The true story of the price a young soldier paid for falling in love with a transsexual nightclub performer. It's certainly worthy of all the accolades. It's a brave, moving film that is destined to move and horrify you. Lee Pace is just flat-out incredible. Troy Garrity is great. Soldier's Girl is not only the best film ever made by and for Showtime, it's also one of the best pictures of the year.